Hey everybody, and welcome to the movie theater. Today, I want to watch and rate all of the special kinship skills that are available to you in Monster Hunter Stories 2. Stories 2 is a great traditional Japanese RPG with Pokemon-esque elements of catching monsters and training them. And each one gets a special move if you charge up your kinship gauge enough. So I want to go through each one that you can get in the game, and we're going to rate them from 1 to 10, with 1 being like, why even bother animating this crap, and then 5 being, yeah, it's okay, it captures the monster, whatever, and then in the 10 area is straight cinema. Like, you really can't do much better or encapsulate the monster than what you just did and what we just watched. So sit back and relax. We are going to be here for a while, and these will be in no really specific order, just whatever my computer decided to line them up in. So with that, let's start the first video. And that one pretty much is a good 5. I think it captures the monster, and it's pretty standard. And of course, we're leaving out that it has a special effect of causing knockdown on the monsters. But yeah, a solid 5, a good place to start. Yeah, that one's a 4 for me. Yeah, it doesn't really do anything super well. It's just kind of a plain thing. Yeah, this one's a solid 8. I mean, for one, I kind of love the Kurayaku, but it's goofy, it represents the character, and it just has a lot of heart to it. The only thing that keeps it from being like super good is that there's really no big impact, and of course, that stupid cat's in it. This was definitely another 8 for me. Once again, just captures the monster, especially whenever he's eating up those little bastard monsters and spitting them back out. But same thing, I just think the impact is a little lacking, but overall, a very good one. Yeah, this one's going to be more of a 5. It doesn't really do much. He just runs real fast, which pretty much is what the monster does in the game. But yeah, just nothing really special. Pretty standard. Now this is how you do it. You give the character what it plays onto, and then you add something special. And I mean, like he spits so much poison, it creates rain clouds, and then it rains poison. But not only that, he creates a little umbrella for your guy, and the hit at the end just sparks it off right. Easy 10. Easy 10. Yeah, this one's another 5. It's pretty much just apt enough, but instead of slipping on a banana, he just kind of trips and goes into a spin move. The camera is better, but still, just a basic one. I do think this one's better than the Velocidrome. I think it really plays into the pack mentality to where it calls in and then they all do their little kick move at the end. So this one's a 6 for me. And here we have another 6. I think the choreography to where you're jumping out the water and landing on him is really nice, but the hit at the end is pretty weak, and they could have done something a little bit different. But yeah, definitely a 6. Man, that was lame as hell. Get out of here. That's a 2. Get out of here. It's the same as the first cut coup, but blue. 7. You lose a point. Yeah, this one's a pretty easy 9. It kind of follows the monster, but also gives you that nice impact at the end and the good camera angles. So yeah, definitely a 9. This one I would also say is a 9. It has very good build up. The camera angle's nice, and then the very end, the old samurai action film of slicing through your character. So good one on this. This one's pretty good. I'll give it a 7. I mean, it's a good setup, and it leads into the goofiness of the character. But I mean, in the end, it takes a long time, and then the last impact just isn't that great. Even though this one is pretty creative and I like how it goes, it's going to be a 6 just because the setup is nice, but just the laser beam impact is so weak. This one I'm going to give a 6. Once again, it takes a little while for it to get going, and then it looks cool at a certain part, but the ending hit just isn't really that good to me. This one's a definite 8. The camera angle is very nice, but also just the way that he keeps slicing and dicing through your character, and the pose at the end was really good. I enjoyed it a lot, so definite 8. I think this one's a 7. Starts out really good. It's just the weird fire blade thing. I don't really understand why they kept it to Rathian. They could have done like a nice little tail sweep thing. I don't know. But yeah, I think it's okay. This one's a 4. It's the same as the Aptonoth, just ice. I think this one's a good 5. I mean, it does what the monster's supposed to do. He eats a lot and farts, but like, there's nothing really great about it. It's just he eats mushrooms and farts a cloud. So this one's a 6. It's the same as Great Jaggy, except they're biting. This one's a 4. Like, there's not much that's going on. It takes a long time, and the impact is weak as hell. This surprised me a lot. A solid 9. Like, it plays into the flash aspect of it, and then also at the end with the poison, but it just keeps spitting the poison out and it covers the camera too. Like, yeah, this was unexpected. Very good. Man, this is a 3. Not much, just swinging around, and then the last impact kind of sucks. I do give this one a 5. It's pretty standard, and it's just he flings mud and runs at you, so not much else there. This one's a 5. He just runs down the longest tree on the planet, and then the last hit is just, it's not super strong. So I do give this one a 6. It only because it takes too long, but the payoff is really nice with the big explosion at the end. So good on this one. It's a 5, same as regular Kedzu, but red. Now this one I give a solid 8. It was a nice build-up, then all the stuff that leads to the end with the final spinning, rolling hit. Yeah, that was pretty cool. This one's a 4, same as regular Barroth, but ice instead of mud. Now this one's a solid 9. It definitely encompasses what the monster is, jumping through the forest and then landing down and just running at you wildly while spitting fire and dragging his jaw on the ground. Yeah, definitely a cool one. Now this one's really cool. It does have a long build up, but the payoff is pretty nice with the massive avalanche coming down. So I give this one solid 8. Oh yeah, they definitely got this one right. This is a solid 9. The way that it builds up until the very end where he does a big explosion and then he's just howling at the moon in a silhouette. Yeah, definitely a good one. This one is a definite 10 out of 10. It encases the entire monster, shows how powerful it is, then the camera, the build up, everything just works perfectly. Fantastic. I give this one a solid 9. It's very pretty to look at, exciting, and then the explosion at the end with the bubbles is pretty nice. This one had a really cool feel to it. Solid 7. It has a cool design to it, but at the very end, it's just kind of a weak hit. I'll give this one a 7. It was cool him popping out the lava, and then the laser beam was nice, but like there was no extra effects to it, which really could have helped send it over. I'd give this one about an 8. I mean, it's nice. The extra camera angles with Cheval, and then at the very end, the way that the blades split into 5 more and zoom in. So yeah, definitely a nice one. This one is a good 9. It's a nice throwback to like the GU Hunter moves, and then Roberto just jumps into the air, and then the big slash at the end was just, yeah, very well done. I don't know. I feel like this one's more of a 7. They didn't really change too much from like the normal Barioth, just added a couple of shots of Alvina in it. So, yeah, it's okay. Kyle's, I'll give a nice 9. Like the way that it follows the arrows and zooming around, like the anime missiles and whatnot. So yeah, this one's pretty cool, especially with the I don't look at explosions at the end pose. Now this one I would say is a 9. Like definitely it's still the same as the Legiana's original, but with that extra explosion to where it dives down at the end, it really sends it over. Kana's, I give a solid 8. It's a good way to take what's already there and just make something better with the shooting the little spirals from his feet, and then also that extra slash at the end really helps it out. I'll give this one an 8. I think it's pretty good, especially with the fireball at the end. It really showcases the Rathalos, firepower. This one will get an 8 as well. It's pretty much the same as the regular Rathian, but that thing at the end where the disc just spins and creates a little vortex and explosion was a really nice touch. Now, this one is definitely a 10 out of 10. Just the way that the fireballs are all falling like meteorites down to the ground, and then you just see your Rider and the Rathalos just kind of floating there while the rest of the explosions are happening. Definitely a 10. This one I definitely give a 9. Starts off the same, and then at the very end releases all the explosive ash. But then that damn Naviru ends up like, why do you keep pushing Naviru in this game? Stop it. This was the same as regular Kirin, but ice, which doesn't make a lot of sense. So 6. It's the same thing as regular Mitsu, but fire. So 8. Now this one was pretty dope. This is a 10. It's an even better version of what the original was. Just instead of the avalanche, it's a massive boulder that explodes. It was pretty nice. Now this one was sick. This is a 10. Like, I didn't think Velkhana could look that cool, especially with the way that it freezes you, picks up a pillar, and then drops a frozen meteor on you. That was dope as hell. This one is definitely another 10. I mean, look at that. This was so anime. Who thought they could make Kushala really cool? I mean, just making that giant ice wind dragon. That was dope. And this one is another 10. Like, they just went full on Dragon Ball Z. He even drops a spirit bomb on him. I mean, they just made the meme come to life. Another 10. I mean, it encapsulates the whole thing that Teostra's about. Explosions, explosions, explosions. I think for an Elder Dragon, it's kind of underwhelming, but I still give it a 7 because it does encapsulate him being fast and shooting lightning, so it's okay. It's the 6 for me. It's the same thing as regular Rathian, just with purple. This one still ends up being a 9 just because of the extra added steam effects to show that he's hitting even harder and causing an even bigger explosion. This one's a 7, is the same as a regular Diablo's, just with steam. This one's an 8, it's literally the same as regular Zenogre. I think this one stays an 8, even though it's got a couple extra little hits, like the little tail slash at the end, but it doesn't really do a whole lot different, but it still adds a little bit more. I do give this one an 8 just because visually it looks really nice, but still, like, Rathalos isn't really known for the foot dive as much as it is for its fireballs. This one's a 6, is the same as regular but pink. This one's a 6, is the same as regular but blue.
Now, this was dope, especially for something that's not considered a monster. But yeah, this is a 10. Bringing in this monster that was just made for Rise as well, and then just the cinematics plus the ending hit and the massive payoff and the stance, and this was like fantastic. This is a 9. It's the same thing but dragon. This is a 9. It's the same thing but ice. This is a 9. It's the same thing but lightning. This is also a 9. This is the same thing but water. This is also a 9. Same thing but fire. So Regios is definitely a 9. This one has like a great setup, the way that it uses the monster's abilities, and then at the very end, that hit was really good. It's an 8, same as regular, but just a dragon. This one's a 5 from me. Like, it's such wasted potential. Plus, it has Naviru in it. But, like, man, the Devil Joe one could have been so cool, but they try to make it goofy, and it just doesn't end up well to me. This one's a 7. It's the same as regular Barioth, but sand. This one's a 10. This plays into the meme, how everyone makes fun of it being a B-52 bomber and everything. Just the way that the whole thing plays out, and then the final hit at the end, it just sends it off in a nice sweet spot. Fantastic. This one's definitely a 9. A very strong, like, mid part to where it does the build up to where he's sharpening his tail and making it hot, and then the X to count for cross, because that was the name he was of the game he was introduced in. I thought it was really good. This one I'll give a 9 only because it takes so long to get to the end part, but it still is visually nice. And then, of course, him doing the Rocky moment and the final explosion was really good. This one's going to be an 8, same as regular Lagia Chris, but, you know, white. This one's going to be a 6, same as regular Gravios, but black. This one's a 2. It's the same as the first one, but just lame. This one's a 5, same as the first one, but, you know, rubies. This one's a 5, same as Royal, but purple. This one's a 4, same as regular, but emerald. This one I do give an 8. I think it was a good way to show off Diablos and the diving power and how strong it is coming up. So this one was pretty good. This one's an 8, same as regular Tigrex, but brutal. This one, I'll give a 6. I mean, you're just rolling the Urugan around, and then the final hit is actually kind of weak. This one I'll definitely give a 9. It shows off the power of the Laggy and why it remains one of the most highest rated flagship monsters in all of the games. This is the one. It's the same as the first one, and it's still lame. This is a 7. It's the same as the regular Monoblos, but white. This one is also a 7. This is the same as regular Diablos, but black. This one's also a 7, same as regular Narga, but green. This one's a 3, same as regular Quetzalcoatl, but white. This one, I'll give a 5. Like, Cephadrome really isn't known for much outside of paralysis, so the sand wall was pretty nice. This one's a 4, same as Velocidrome, but biting with paralysis. This one's a 4, same as Gendrome, but instead of paralysis, is poison. I'll give it an 8. This one's pretty good. It shows off the Barioth's tornado making abilities by shooting the ice powers and all that. So, pretty nice. This one's a solid 8. It really plays into Zamtrios' ability to enlarge itself and then create the ice armor. And then the big hit at the end was pretty nice. This is a 9, same as regular, but lightning. This one's a 5. I mean, it plays into Arzuros. He's kind of a goofy monster anyway, but it just wasn't very impactful, and he's just catching a fish. Oh yeah, this one I'll give a 10. I mean, it's really cool the way that it flits back and forth between the lightning, and then at the very end, it creates the massive thunder blade on its head and literally just slices the world. It's just really great. I'll give this one a 9. This was a very solid ending, right at the end to where it does the tail dive and causes the explosion. It was really nice, and of course, flitting back and forth between the lightning was cool as hell. Man, that took a long time. But with that being said, that's it. I just wanted to rate all of these great kinship skills that you get in the game. I mean, it's a fun game. It's a great RPG. If you like old-fashioned JRPGs and Pokemon type stuff, you catch monsters, train them up, and you can switch out, their skills and all that, and create the monster team that you like the most. So please make sure you like and subscribe. Make sure to comment. Did you agree with all my ratings? Did you think that I was too harsh on some but not enough on the others? Just go ahead and leave a comment below if you don't mind. And with that, I'll see you later.